Okay, so my name is Lakshmi, and uh, I have been working in Fusion applications for the past 4 years, and I have been into the Oracle e-business suite before that, and all my 13 years of experience is into the Oracle EBS and Oracle Fusion applications, basically. And today I'm going to talk about the Oracle Fusion applications technical overview. Basically, that's the agenda today. And I'm going to talk about what is the topics we're going to cover today. And then I'm going to show what is our course agenda in a detailed manner in an Excel sheet. And then I will take up any additional questions after the session, basically. Okay, so let me jump into the agenda directly, and then let's talk about it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what is Fusion applications and what are the various ways we can install the Fusion applications, and what are the SAS, PaaS, and IaaS. Basically, it's different services based on how do you install the Fusion applications, and what is the Fusion application architecture, getting started with the Fusion application implementation, how do you implement security, what are the inbound integrations, outbound integrations, and how do we use the Fusion SOAP, REST, and Atom web services, reporting tools, how do we extend the customize the Fusion applications, and how do the application development framework plays a key role in the customizing the Fusion applications, and how do you implement the workflows in the Fusion app. It's a complete agenda, but in our demo today, we'll be jumbling up here and there. So all I wanted to do is I wanted to start with to tell what is Fusion applications, and then I will try to jump into the cloud, basically, which is a term we are listening for the past 4 years about the Oracle Fusion in the cloud. So I will just compare with what we have before and what we have now, and how we need to choose the cloud, and how we can differentiate between our legacy application and cloud applications, and how do we typically do the work in the cloud applications, especially in the Fusion applications, and how we have to plan our implementations. Basically, it's a bit lengthy topic we are going to cover today, so let's be patient. Okay. So what is a Fusion applications basically? So Fusion application, we can best describe it as built on open standards based platform, means built on open technology, built on best business processes, best functionalities, and various deployment options, various installation options, basically. All these three categories. So what do you mean by open standards based platform? So what Oracle did back in 2000, 2001, the time when they thought of moving out from legacy Oracle e-business suite applications to a better applications, basically, then they start thinking of what could be the best application, what is the best platform to build. From there onwards, they started buying various technological components. One example is they bought some microsystems, Java, and also they have bought various technical components, and they started building a platform on which they have built the Fusion applications. So these are the various platforms which the Fusion applications are built. Oracle SOA, Oracle Service-Oriented Architecture, Oracle Web Logic Server, Oracle JDeveloper, through which you can develop most of the Fusion applications and processes. OBIE is a reporting tool, a proprietary reporting tool of Oracle. Web Center Portal, where typically we can create the websites, internal websites, external websites for our organization. Web Center Content, where you can manage your digital content in your organization. Enterprise Manager, which typically takes care of all these technical components to work together. And Identity Management, where typically you can maintain the user status, creation of the user, termination of the user, to giving access to the user, all the user management of anyone in the organization. So all are different individual technology components and all those things brought together on which Fusion applications are built. And these components has its own functionality, and every component is not not interrelated. Means if you do something on identity management doesn't mean you have to do something on Oracle server. Not like that. Everything is independent modules. That is why it is very easy for us to configure any interfaces, user interfaces through JDeveloper, or a business objects through Oracle server, or business processes or business logic. Everything you can build, and once you build it, you can reuse it anywhere because all these components are interdependent. You can reuse the same system of technologies and ease of managing applications because they're not related to each other, but everything is its own functionality and everything is equally capable of doing the work. It's a technology. Coming to the processes, what Oracle did, Oracle bought PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Siebel, Oracle On Demand, Oracle E-Business Suite is a proprietary tool. So what Oracle did, what are the best of the business processes are there out of each and every module? They lifted everything out of them and they shifted into the cloud, the Fusion applications. That is why Fusion applications processes are combination of all these modules processes, all these products processes, financial processes, or payroll processes, or CRM processes, supply chain management processes. All those processes are brought together and built and included into the Fusion applications. That is why it means if you know the Oracle EBS, it doesn't mean all the Oracle e-business suite is shifted to Oracle Fusion. No. Some of the processes are shifted and some of these processes are borrowed from the PeopleSoft or JD Edwards like that. That's why it's built on best of the business processes. And another beauty of the Fusion application is deployment options. Means you can deploy the Fusion applications at multiple places. One thing is cloud. You can deploy means where you need to install it. So deployment part, I have built another slide which actually talks in more detail. Let us say in your company, once you have the Fusion application, basically if you're thinking to go to Fusion application, first thing, how can you like to access the Fusion? How do you access the Fusion? Do you like to access in the cloud or do you like to access in on-premise? If you like to access in the on-premise, all you need to you need to buy the Fusion product itself from the Oracle, and like how you are maintaining the typically business suite, PeopleSoft, or any of custom application, just buy the whole Fusion application product and install it in on-premise. So you're buying the product and you will be having your own, in on-premise, you will be having your own infrastructure, your own database administrators, your own network administrators, your own implementation team. Install it. Whenever we need to do the upgradations, we have to download the patches from Oracle and install it. So everything will be maintained by ourselves in on-premise. And the next very popular thing is cloud. If you want to maintain the cloud, okay. If it is a cloud, then who maintains it? There are two ways. You can maintain it. My company is myself, I can maintain it, or Oracle can maintain it. If my company maintains it, next question, does your company has a cloud data center? You need to have a data center to install the application, right? So do your company have a cloud data center? No, my company don't have the cloud data center. Then Oracle has a cloud data center. What are the application you bought, install it on the Oracle Cloud Data Center. No, I have a data center. Then install the Fusion on your application data center. It means that typically instead of on-premise, you are using on your cloud data center. Or if you like to use Oracle data center, if you bought Oracle application product, you also need to rent the Oracle hardware. Means that you have to buy Oracle IaaS called infrastructure as a service. You have to buy infrastructure from or rent infrastructure from Oracle and host your product there. That is one way. Other way, okay, Oracle will maintain it for you. Next thing, do you want application alone? So what do you mean by that? So do you want application means when you say application, what is Fusion application? Fusion application basically a Fusion product families. Fusion product means you want if your Fusion HR application or finance application, CRM application, supply chain management application, what you want. I just want the HR application or finance application or SM application. Okay, if you want application alone, then what Oracle is giving you, okay, we will maintain the application for you. Just buy a SAS application from us. We will maintain the application for you. We will take care of maintenance of our application. Just buy the SAS. SAS means software as a service application, basically. They say that we will offer a software for you and we will maintain it for you. Just use the application, whatever you got. Or I want application, but I also need a platform to create a new applications, to create a new services, right? I want application, but along with the application, I want a platform too. What do you mean by that? In EBS or PeopleSoft or any of our custom legacy application, if you see that, you have your EBS application. Along with that, you will have the EBS middleware where you can create your own, you can use the database or you can use the middleware or you can use the concurrent manager to have your own jobs or own processes or own custom applications too, own custom pages too. But in case of this Fusion application, if you want only the application means whatever is coming out of the box, what are the properties are given out of the box, just use it. If you wanted to go beyond it, if you wanted to have a platform to create your own pages, or if you want a platform to create your own processes, in those cases, what you need to do, you need to have a platform as well. In those cases, what you need to do, you have to buy SaaS, software as a service, and also platform as a service from Oracle. So I will talk about SAS PaaS IaaS in detail. So what I meant to say is, how do you want to maintain the application is called the deployment option. So what Oracle has given various deployment options. In EBS or in our legacy way, everything is maintained in the on-premise. Now they came up with the cloud option. And they have given various options. Do you want to maintain? Do you want us to maintain? If you want us to maintain, how do you maintain? Do you want us to maintain only application, or you want us to provide you application as well as a platform? How do you want it? So the way of exposing the applications is changed now. It's not like before, right? So this structure guides us what to learn and how to learn, basically. That's why primarily we have to understand what is a cloud and what are the cloud deployment options. Okay, so, right. I was talking about SAS, PaaS, and IaaS. What does it mean? What does it mean is, if it is an on-premise application, for any application, typically any application needs all these components. Your application, your software, your database, your middleware, your operating system, and your hardware, virtualization, server, storage, networking. Now, if you go with the software as a service, it means completely maintained by the Oracle. What Oracle will say, it will say everything will be maintained by Oracle, means whatever is given out of the box, just use it. That is called SAS application. Example of SAS application, Oracle, all Oracle Fusion product families are SAS applications. Or Google applications like a WhatsApp, or a Gmail, Salesforce, Cisco, Webex, Concur, all these are SAS applications. What do you mean by that? Let's take a Gmail. Gmail is maintained by the Google, right? And whenever myself, if I go and log into my Gmail account, then what happens? I can see my data. I can see my data. I can do anything. I can create an email, send an email, see my old emails, search my emails. I have many properties in the application, but I can see only my data. If I want to modify any of the feature or any of the process in the Gmail, I can do. Because if I do that, it is going to impact. I mean, if Google do that for me, it is going to impact for other person too. Oracle Gmail will give flexibility to customize some properties. Beyond that, you cannot do because it is going to impact other person's usage or other person's features. So SAS is always whatever is coming out of the box, just use it. So Oracle has many product families. So I'll just, if you want to see what are the product families Oracle has, what you can do. So if you go to the cloud.oracle.com, seeing that in the applications, these are all the SAS applications given by Oracle in the human capital management, ERP. Human capital management is having some modules, so it has many sub-modules, global HR, talent management, workforce rewards. ERP has a financials, accounting hub, project financial management, and the EPM has these modules. So every product family, it is a product, same is a product, it's a product family, it has all these sub-modules. ERP is a product family, have all these sub-modules. Every module has its own importance. Example, financials, you can go and see what is under the financials basically. You can see the documentation here. What are the features of the financial cloud? So it is there. It has the ledgers and analytics, payables and assets, revenue management. All these applications, whatever coming out of this fusion, basically all are SaaS. It means that whatever the future, what example in the financials, if you have the ledger, creation of a ledger, whatever way you create ledger in your company, every company create ledger in the same way. But there is some provision for us to do little bit customizations in SAS applications. Like while creating a ledger, I wanted to, maybe we are having 10 fields in the screen while creating a ledger. Maybe I don't want all the 10 fields. I want to hide 5 fields. I want to make some fields as required. Some level of property changes we can do. But the standard process is same. In the SAS application especially, everything is given out of the box, and these are very popular, some of the popular SAS applications. Coming to PaaS application, PaaS is nothing but a platform where you will get a provision to create new processes or create your own application basically. Let us say in the creation of a ledger, in the creation of the ledger screen example, in the creation of a ledger screen, you wanted to have another page along with the creation of a ledger. Means you want to embed another page in the application. Means you are not typically modifying any of this application. You have to create a page separately. Where do you create the page? You cannot create the page in the SAS. 1 second. Yeah. Can you see my screen? Can someone confirm me that my screen is visible?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So in the past, basically we get a platform where we can create a new processes or a new pages, or we can get a platform if you want to have an ETL tool. Oracle will provide it in the platform. In the platform, you can buy that service. Example, as part of the SAS application, you have to use whatever is given out of it. Maybe, as I said, if you want to create a new page, or if you want to create a new processes, or if you wanted to have a place where you can perform ETL operations, extract, transform, load operations. In those cases, you need a platform to perform those kind of stuff. I will show you some examples. In those cases, typically you need to have your own database access and you need to have a provision to create your own application or processes. In those cases, platform as service, Oracle will give a provision for that. What kind of processes you want to create, what kind of application you want to create, what kind of platform you like to use. You like to have extract ETL platform, we have ETL tools. Do you want to have a process modification platform like a SOA? We have a SOA platform. Do you want to have a platform to create digital application? Yes, we have a platform. We want a platform to create a blockchain application? Yes, we have a platform. So what Oracle provide? Oracle provide a platform to two things. One thing, you can extend your SaaS applications, and second thing, you can have your own custom applications. That is platform as a service. Oracle has a huge platform as a service. The platform, the same screen. If you go to platform, it is a platform as a service. Basically, you have defined why do you want a platform. I want a platform to perform the integrations, or I want a platform where I can create a Java application, or I want to have a platform where I can extend my SaaS application to have a new pages or a new processes. Then I need to have a Java cloud service or a Visual Builder cloud service where I can create the pages. I will tell you what is that. Or I wanted to have a big data where I need to do the big data specific operations, MySQL specific programs. Or I want a platform where I can do analytics much extensive way. In the application, in the SaaS application, basically whatever is given out of the box, what are the tools given out of the box, those tools are actually pulling data only from the Fusion. I want a platform where I can marry data from Fusion to a EBS to the PeopleSoft from multiple sources and get a visual rich analytics. Then I have to get up analytics cloud. So everything, every platform component has its own importance. That is where platform as a service comes into the picture. We have to analyze, why do you need a platform as a service? I'll show you some examples anyway. Some of the popular platform as a service applications: Oracle Fusion Platform, Google Application Engine, Amazon AWS, Windows Azure Cloud Services, Apache Stratos, and OpenShift. These are all the popular PaaS applications. And in the infrastructure as a service, what we are saying is, hey, just give me the hardware. Just give us the hardware. I will have my own middleware. I will have my own operating system. I will have my own database. I will have my own application. Just rent me this hardware. I will do that. That's what I was saying in the previous thing. I was saying about if you want to buy the data center only, buy infrastructure service from Oracle. That's what we are doing, right? So just get the IaaS, infrastructure service, and install everything for you. Coming to on-premise, it's entirely maintained by us, because we are saying that, hey, we are having our own hardware. We will buy the application from you. We will modify it as it one we want, because we have the full control of the application, right? We have the full flexibility. Now, in these cases, there are few advantages and few disadvantages are there. In the SaaS application, as everything is maintained by Oracle, if any issue happens, Oracle takes 100% responsibility. Application is not working, they have to resolve it. Application, some field is missing. I mean, until unless we can do some customizations on the application, but still, if any question specific to the application, they will do the 100% support. They cannot say that it is customized, because our SaaS applications are never be customizable, right? Only properties can be customized. I'll show you what can be customizable. But anything apart from that, Oracle will maintain it. If any upgradations to do, Oracle will do it. Any patches to do, Oracle will do it. Any outages to do, Oracle will do it. No dependency on the DBAs, no dependency on the network administrators, no dependence on anyone. Oracle will do the 100% support. In the PaaS application, Oracle will support only the hardware and middleware, but coming to the application and database or any other customizations you do. Example, here, SAS application, we have a database, they will maintain it. When I say they maintain it, it means that in SAS application, you don't have a provision to write an update statement in the database. You don't have provision to write a delete statement in the database. You can only do the select statement from the database, but there's a way to do the update, delete, and create. There's a way for that. I'm just saying you cannot access database directly from your Toad or SQL Navigator or any of your DBMS tools. You cannot do that. It's not possible because you don't have the access to database. You don't have a TNS names file for that. In case of PaaS, you have access to, if you buy that database management system, you have access to the database. You can create your own tables, you can customize your own tables, whatever it is. But whenever upgradations happens, whenever patches happens, if that table has any issue, then it's not Oracle responsibility to look into those customizations. Anything beyond that, Oracle will look at it. Any customizations, Oracle will tell you to take the responsibility, but still Oracle will maintain the patches, Oracle will do the upgrades, Oracle will do the installations, Oracle will take care of it. But if anything breaks because of those things, it is the developer responsibility to change it or to maintain it. In case of infrastructure as a service, hardware is given by the Oracle, right? So they are giving it, but application and middleware, you have to maintain it, right? It means that you are completely responsible to maintain the application. If you want to upgrade the application, it is your responsibility to get the patches from Oracle, and your DBA or network administrator should take care of those installations or those patches stuff. It is completely your company's responsibility. If anything happened to the hardware, or if server is not holding the load, which is expected to, then Oracle will take care. Anything hardware specific stuff, they will look at it, but anything specific to the application or middleware or operating system, it is our responsibility to take care. Okay, and popular IaaS applications are, I think I didn't keep I here. Popular applications: Oracle Fusion IaaS, Microsoft Azure, Google Compute Engine, Amazon Web Service, Cisco Metapod, DigitalOcean. These are all the popular IaaS applications in the market, basically. Right now, we have seen this. Now let us see. So again, let me show you that if you want infrastructure, it is infrastructure. What do you want to buy? Compute, you want to compute or networking or storage or security, what you like to buy. So you can choose from the infrastructure, basically, right? And you can choose from the platform, or you can choose from the applications, right? Now let us see more into it. When I say PaaS, it was not completely explainable. It makes sense. Okay, I have a question from Kiran. Till what time we have class? You'll be having class for another 30 minutes. Okay. Right. So it is SAS applications. Now what I will do, let us take some frequent questions that becomes like, if you don't have access to database, how do we do the select, delete, update, and application data? How do we do this extraction of the data or loading the data? How we can do that? For that, what Oracle has provided out-of-the-box inbound and outbound integration tools for SAS applications. Oracle has given a way for that. There are various inbound and outbound integration tools through which we can do it. So example, if we talk about that, what are the various inbound integration? I'm going to categorize into two ways: inbound integrations and outbound integrations, and I will tell you where exactly the PaaS comes into picture. If you have a Fusion applications, and if you have your in-house applications or any third-party applications of your company, typically what we need to do, if you want to interact, you want to load data into Fusion applications, either or load data, or if you have to read data, whatever, or if you want to update data, typically what you can manually go to Fusion applications and do whatever you want, or you have to do it from your database, right? If you don't have database access, then how do you update it? There are various ways you can do basically. If you want to update or if you wanted to do any operations in the Fusion database, then typically you have to interact externally. When you say externally, how? In the case of EBS, our external source is a Toad or any JavaScript or a shell script like that. But in SAS application, as everything is maintained by Oracle, you don't have provision to write a shell script. You don't have provision to write a PL SQL script. You don't have a platform to write a Java. You don't have that. Then how do you interact with the Fusion applications? There is various ways you can interact with the Fusion applications. And one key thing here we need to know is the important thing to learn, especially for the technical person in the Fusion application, is web services. To do any CRUD operations, create, read, update, delete operations, as a developer, the core way of interacting with the Fusion application is through web services. That is very important to understand. If I don't have no web services, still I can interact with the Fusion application? Of course you can. Oracle has given various provisions for that. That's what I'm categorizing here. If you need to interact with the Fusion application, if it's a low to medium volume of data, then Oracle has given tools called a spreadsheet data loader or ADF-DI, ADF data integrator. So this tool, using spreadsheet data loader, you have provision to load data into the Fusion application or update data into the Fusion applications through spreadsheets. Same spreadsheet we have in something called HCM spreadsheet data loader in the HR modules, through which also you can upload or create data into the Fusion applications. We can use any of these tools. I just mentioned low to volume of data, high volume. It's a preferable tools, but you can use any tool to do anything. I'm just categorized like this. When it's a high volume of data, Oracle has given a tool called file-based data import. All non-HCM applications use file-based data import to load, to interact with the Fusion applications basically. And we use this tool heavily when we do the initial implementations to do the migrations or conversions. And there's something called HCM data loader, formerly FBL, which is used in the HCM modules to load, to interact with the Fusion applications. It is very frequently used tool, day-to-day tool to interact with the Fusion applications basically. And another very important is SOAP, REST, and Atom web services. These are just like your database. If you select start from EMP, something like that, then you have to call one REST API or SOAP API to the Fusion, saying that, hey, get all employees. You get all employee data. Get employee, where this condition, you get the data. Or atom feed means basically whenever a change happens, whenever event happens in the Fusion application, automatically call some external service. Atom feed basically. When employee data is changed, automatically call something outside service so that they get alerted, hey, something is changed in the Fusion application, let me grab it. That is called Atom services. Everything has their own limitations and still getting developed. Basically, this SOAP, REST, Atom web service is very, very key thing, and we will be using it very frequently. And there are some specialized data loaders, basically payroll batch loader and specialized data loaders, through which also you can interact with the Fusion applications. Oracle has given it tools for that. Similarly, to extract data out of Fusion applications, Oracle has given it tools. One is a BA publisher. Same thing. We will be using BA publisher very, very frequently in the Fusion applications to do all our querying of data. If you need to query the data in the Fusion applications, only way basically, if you want to write a select statement in the Fusion application, only way you can write a select statement is to go to BA publisher tool and data model, create a data model. And similarly, we have SOAP REST web services, very frequently used to read any data out of Fusion applications. And also we have OTBI, Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence. It's a substudy child of OBIEE family, which we'll be talking about in detail about all these topics anyway. And we have also called HCM extract, which is specifically in the HCM modules. So another tool. And we have financial reporting center, which is specifically for the financial world. So using this, you can extract, read data in the Fusion application, extract data out of Fusion application and load it into the cloud, basically. Now, coming to this, when I gave these two diagrams, what did you observe? Here, from my in-house application, I am talking to the cloud directly. Means it is in-house application or third-party application responsibility to implement all this stuff. It is the in-house application responsibility to, example, if you want to call a web service in the cloud, it is in-house this application responsibility to call it. How do they call it? They may need to write their own programs, or they need to have their own middleware to do that. Right? Now, what if we have a system which can talk to these two things and help us to simplify this stuff? Okay, what if we have a system which can talk to both the applications, which has the ability to talk to both the applications, which can talk to both the systems and push data from there and pull data from here, or push and pull activity. If you want to simplify that process, the way to implement this, yes, we can absolutely, we can do from in-house application, we can call a report, or we can run a report, we can call a SOAP services, we can do everything on our own. But if you want to simplify this process, which can happen very, very frequently in most of the bigger organizations, then we like to have a middleware. Do you like to have your own middleware which can talk to both the systems? Or you can go to the ICS, Integration Cloud Service, comes along with the PaaS. The platform as a service, there is a tool in the platform as a service. We have integration. There is something called Integration Cloud. This Integration Cloud can help you to integrate two systems. You can get it between the business application through various ways we can do. Pre-built integrations are there, because we know EBS is a pre-built application. HCM Cloud or Finance Cloud is a pre-built application. We know how does it work. We have various adapters available as part of ICS. Adapters means if you want to connect to EBS, there is an adapter available for the e-business suite. Salesforce, we have adapter, or we have a Microsoft, we have adapter. We have adapters available. Use the adapter. It's always just if you use the adapter from ICS, it will just open a connections with the EBS, and whatever APIs are available in the EBS will show up in your Integration Cloud service. You can use ICS to do that. Similarly, if you want to do the outbound integration, let us say we have organization with less volume of data. In these cases, Fusion applications should send data to the banks, send data to the e-business suite, or send data to the ADP. How do you want to send the data? Oracle SAS application has the ability to send data to the third-party applications. Using the BA publisher, there is a delivery mechanism through which you can deliver the data to the respective destinations, right? But it is possible, but volume is too high. You have to do a lot of transformations. If you want to do the lot of transformations from your Fusion applications to these systems, and doing all the transformations may be difficult sometimes in the Fusion applications. In those cases, we may need a middleware. If you want a middleware, if you want to have your own middleware, it is okay. Or do you like to go for a PaaS? Maybe Oracle has a provision. Oracle will provide you the platform where you can it can simplify your work. In those cases also, you can rely on Integration Cloud Service. Again, I'm saying whatever the things are there without PaaS also you can absolutely do, but it depends upon, it needs a lot of effort and a lot of knowledge. And if you want things to be simplified and to happen very quickly, then it is a better way to do. You can use the PaaS platform to get some components, right? So in our sessions, we are going to learn about all the inbound integrations, all the outbound integrations, use of every tool in detail. Okay, and we are also going to see how from our custom applications without using any platform tools, how we can implement interacting with the Fusion applications, how we can write a code in our custom applications to call the SOAP or REST or ATOM services, how we can automate this file-based data import, how we can automate HSM data loader, or how we can extract data, how we can call BA publisher services, or how we can run the reports, how we can build the extracts, how we can run the reports of financial reporting center. These are all inbound integrations. 50% or more than 50% of classes will go into the inbound integrations and outbound integrations of our sessions. Okay, and also we are going to cover some part of integration cloud service ICS, because typically for us the instance access for the platform access was very limited. We don't have that much access. Basically, it is a cost effective. So most of our examples will go along with the SAS applications and custom way of implementing the same mechanism without using the platform tools. Basically, that is one thing we are going to cover. Next thing here, my previous slide. Right, if you don't have database, the Oracle has given a tool for that. Similarly, if you don't have application access, because even application is maintained by Oracle in the SAS platform, if you don't have application access, then how do you customize the application? Again, Oracle has given a tools for that to perform the SAS customizations. Of course, there are some limitations. So there are various ways you can extend the Fusion applications. You can add custom fields using descriptive flex fields, key flex fields, extensible flex fields. If someone knows, it's okay. If you don't know, it's okay. We are going to talk about this in detail. We can modify existing fields, make field required, show or hide a field, change a field label, make fields read-only, reorder fields. We can tailor the user interface. We can change the look and feel of the page. We can change the page layout. Create new page has a limitation, but there's a possibility for that. And we can add buttons, links, videos, images, add the embedded help. We can do many things, right? And also in the OTBI reports, means it's a visual analytics, visual rich reports. We can create OTBI reports, embed the visual rich reports like maps, graphs, bar charts, or many things into the Fusion application. And we can make it mobile specific application, mobile specific. If you run the same report in mobile, it will come to the mobile specific size. Many things can be done out of the SAS model. Basically, for this, Oracle has given some tool called a Page Composer, Application Composer, BA Composer. And to use these tools, basically, we have to know a little bit about these coding things, basically expression language, a groovy code, HTML, JavaScript, web services. We should be talking about them in detail in our sessions. Now, if you like to create a new page completely, they said they can create a new page here, but this new page, everything is read-only data. You cannot do any DML operations here. If you want to create a new page where you want to have your own process and deploy it in the Fusion applications, it cannot be done in SAS model. You have to go to PaaS. In the PaaS, we have 3 different tools through which you can create your own user interface using Java Cloud Service, JCS, SX. We call it JCS SX at the end, that is called SAS extension, Java Cloud Service SAS extension. Or we can use Visual Builder Cloud Service, or we can use Apex. And everything has its own difference. I will talk about this in detail. It'll take another 30 minutes if I talk about it. It has its own difference. You can use any of these tools to create the pages, create the processes. When I say Java Cloud Service, is completely based on application development frame, which is a core technology to build the Fusion applications. All the Fusion application pages are built on ADF. So in our classes, we'll be talking about ADF. We'll be talking about the ADF framework. We'll be talking about how to create the pages. We'll be talking about, while creating the pages, one thing you have to remember, we cannot establish a connection to the database to do select, update, read. Because of that, when we implement a page, we use REST or SOAP services to do the DML operations basically. So that is how we are going to build a page. And once the page is built, I'm going to show you how to deploy in the Java Cloud Service and see it in the Fusion application. But thing is, you may not be able to do that. That is another clause. You could be able to create an application using ADF, but you may not be able to deploy it on the in the JCS. That is the another thing I had to say before itself, because we don't have a limited ability to access the platform in the Fusion application because it's a cost effective. So it is the Fusion application user interface. Similarly, we could able to, there are many other questions will come to us, like how do we customize the workflows? We can customize the workflows. Oracle has given a tools for that. There is something called Oracle Business Process Management, Oracle BPM. Using the Oracle BPM, you can customize your workflows basically. So you could able to, Oracle has given something called BPM, which actually uses SOA approval management extensions and BPM and Oracle Human Capital Management to build the hierarchies. So what is the clause here is Oracle has defined a list of transaction types. Whatever transaction type is defined, only for those transaction types you could be able to modify or customize the workflow. But you cannot create your own processes for approvals. Example, whenever a job is created, do approvals. We have a process for that. That is, whenever a dependent is created, when for employee is there, for employee a dependent, clause is created, I want to have approval for that. We don't have it out of the box. Maybe Oracle will come up with that later in SAS applications. But if you want to have it on your own, yes, you can buy it. You can get it using the SOA, the PaaS platform. You have a SOA component. Using SOA component, you could be able to have your own processes and own transaction type and create the workflow and deploy in the Fusion applications. Similarly, there are various things. Another important thing people will ask is security model. Can we have our own security model? Yes, Oracle has a very great tools to implement a security model in your organization, to implement security in your finance application or HR application. Various ways to do basically, right? So I just gave a brief introduction of what I'm going to cover in my subsequent classes. That's what I covered, and everything has in detail discussion. And coming back to the course content, what I'm going to let me open it. So basically, again, all my classes will be completely based on how to implement a Fusion SAS application. That is the main intention here. So how to implement a finance application or HR application. If you want to implement an application, what are the necessary things to be taken care? Beginning from the implementation, beginning from project creation to the implementing the security models and implementing the inbound integrations and outbound integration, extending the applications and customizing the workflows, and all this stuff will be covered as part of our classes basically. Okay, we are not typically covering the technical components, individual technical components here. It doesn't mean I'm covering the blockchain here. It doesn't mean I'm covering digital assistant here. These are different classes basically. I'm not covering that. I'm covering basically implement a Fusion application. What are the necessary steps? What are the necessary things to be needed? Where we need to use the PaaS platform, and without using platform, how in a custom manner, how we can do the inbound integrations, outbound integrations, security, workflows, extensions. That is a complete concentration of our classes. So basically our course content go like this. We had a little bit introduction about cloud application. We didn't talk about cloud architecture in detail. Our sessions will be, we're talking about the cloud architecture introduction classes, and we'll be starting with the Fusion application implementation, beginning from when you buy the Fusion application, what will happen from there onwards, how do you start the implementation, And typically I'll be talking about this model called functional setup manager, which will talk about the project creation and implementation. And we'll be talking about the features of the Fusion offerings. There are many things, fundamentals of the Fusion applications, and the typical page navigation in the Fusion application. Talk about security in detail, how to implement security in the Fusion applications, how to do the inbound integrations, how to do the outbound integrations, how to extend the Fusion applications, how do you do the approval management, and application development framework. This is what we are going to cover in our classes basically. So I'll open up for the questions now. So let me know if you have any questions, and then I will take it up.
Hey, this is Sri, actually. Is it more towards the PaaS system, or will it be more towards the SAS?
It's more towards the SAS.
SAS, okay.
Yes, as I said, it's more towards the SAS. We'll be covering some PaaS components, but we are not covering everything in the PaaS components actually. Whatever the components are needed in a typical implement of the Fusion SAS applications, we are going to cover that. And we are going to, if we talk about inbound integrations, typically, how do you do the inbound integration in finance world? How do you do inbound integrations in the HCM world? And how we use the tools. We're going to cover each and every individual tool in detail, basically. And where we need to use the middleware. In those cases, how we can use the integration cloud service. In those cases, we cover about only this one. So basically, out of PaaS, we'll be covering about integration cloud service and Java cloud service, and little bit about SOA. Those are three things we are and never when talking about Visual Builder Cloud Service too. So again, these are not all are not specific to SaaS application. What are you seeing here? It's a platform. Example, blockchain is there. Blockchain, you can implement blockchain. While implementing blockchain, you can access the SaaS application data. If you want to use it in the blockchain, or if you don't want to use SaaS application data, you can completely implement blockchain on your own for a different application. So it's a platform alone. There's a question, should we have a knowledge on BA Publisher to take this course? It's not needed. I'm going to teach you the BA Publisher from basic.
Lakshmi, back to that PaaS, this is Soman here. Back to that PaaS question. So, but you would explain.
Kevin.
1 second, let me mute. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so, but you would be explaining the, like a typical scenario, like, okay, we have to, like, for example, take some file or information out of SAS and bring it over to PaaS. You would take a typical scenario and you would explain that, right?
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll take a use case scenario like extracting the employee records out of the system, or extracting the typical payroll file out of the system, or in case of the finance world, extracting the item data out of the system. And typically, how do we integrate with the, take a EBS example, how do you do the integration in a custom manner? Or if you use integration cloud service, how it simplifies the same customization as well. We'll take the use case scenarios in both the cases.
Okay. Another question I had, Lakshmi, was that what is the, how does the schedule run? Like, are these like 1 hour classes, or what is the typical timing that you would be starting?
It's going to start 1 hour at the beginning, and maybe actually we're going to release the schedule basically once this session is over. I think Ravi is going to send a registration link for upcoming schedules, so he'll be confirming the schedule there. And then once the schedule is confirmed, basically first 15 days it will be 1 hour, and after that it is going to be 1 hour 30 minutes.
Okay.
So our expectation for completion of all these will be around 30 to 45 hours, basically based on people involvement. We can cover more use cases. So I would say sometimes we even went for 50 hours too, basically. So depends upon the people interest. We will be covering the different use case scenarios. Please share this PPT. Yes, I'll be sharing with Ravi. Please be in touch with him. Will he be provide instance access as well? Yes, we are going to provide a SAS instance access basically. And again, we cannot guarantee for the platform access, but your SAS instance access will be there from beginning of the sessions. Do you also give training on HCM data model and tables involved? Basically, I'm taking one example from finance and one example from HCM. Basically, when I start be a publisher, I have to talk about data models and reporting. When I talk about data models, I have to take some use cases to begin with how the table structures do look like and what are the interdependencies and how to create the data sets. In those cases, yes, I'm going to take some examples and talk about the tables involved. And again, I'm not going to talk about each and every individual table involved in each product family. It's not like that. I'll make sure that if you have given access to the BI publisher, I can ensure that with our knowledge, you could able to write any queries in the yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you have any questions, let me know. Else we can drop off and then follow up with Ravi for the upcoming schedules.
One last question, Lakshmi. This is Soman here. Yeah. So you were explaining that the cloud different deployment options. Is Fusion available on premise?
Yes.
I mean, from Oracle.
It is.
It is. Okay.
It is. The difference is good question though. The difference is basically currently we are running in release 13, but for the Fusion on premise you get release 12. You won't get the latest one.
Okay.
So you have to wait for it. Currently we have Fusion.
And let's say if someone decides to install Fusion on the company data center, right, okay, on the cloud, so can they use AWS as the cloud?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, they can use. Yeah.
And that is also, I mean, they can get the latest version, right, R13.
No. Basically, when you use AWS, it means that you are buying the complete Fusion product from the Oracle. So when you're buying the Fusion product from Oracle, then it is the version they're going to offer you. If it's a financial, basically release 12 is the current running product. So basically they'll give you release 12 product only, and you have to take it, buy it, and wherever you want to have an AWS or whatever data center, you can go and install it.
Okay.
When I say release 13, if it is an Oracle Fusion SAS application, that is the release 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Lakshmi, again, this is Sri. One quick question.
Sri?
So are you expecting like any prior knowledge of any other tools or kind of skill set to it in this course?
It's not really necessary to have a prior knowledge, basically. So what I'm going to do when I'm going to start the real sessions, I'm going to take the individual experience and individual people knowledge levels, basically. So if based on that, I will concentrate. Example, if I talk about web services, if most of people don't know the web services, then I'm going to start from scratch. What is a simple web service and how to create it, how to use it.
Yeah. Similar. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, based on the people expertise once I start the session, because we are not sure how many of you will join, right? So once the joining is confirmed, then I will take the expertise and start it. Yeah.
It's similar to the ADF as well, the same.
Yes, it is.
Everything applies to ADF. Okay, all right.
Yes,
okay.
It is. That's why I said, right, the number of sessions will go from, sometimes it will finish in 35 hours. I have seen it went beyond 50 hours too. So it depends upon people, knowledge and expertise.
All right. Thanks, Lakshmi.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. And it's very nice talking to you all. We'll meet in the next call.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.